The Greek has a message for all the other podcasters.
I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat your children.
So I'm going to react to Patrick Bet David talking to Chris Cuomo about young men ditching the Democratic Party.
So Wall Street Journal does a story. Rob, what page is it on here? Oh, there it is, that one right there. It says why so many young men are leaving Democrats for Republicans. Very, very insightful in how big the differentiator is. Where is that story on? What page is that story on, Rob? Is it 6 or is it 5? What do you see? No, I don't see
Number
it.
two under your own.
Oh, okay, there it is. Young voters have supported Democratic candidates for over 20 years. However, recent Wall Street Journal polling shows that Republicans are closer than ever to winning the group, especially among young men, while 2020 exit polls show that young men back President Joe Biden by 15 percentage points. February 2024 WSJ poll found that they favored former President Trump by 14 percentage points. Play this clip from the beginning, Rob. Let's watch the first minute. Go ahead.
In 2008, 58% of young people leaned Democratic. 2012, 53%. And in the last two major election years, that percentage held steady at 55%. But in 2023, that number dipped below 50% for the first time since 2005. And you'll notice right here, they started to lean more Republican. And that's partly because of one specific group, young men. Young men have increased their support of the Republican Party from 35% to 48%, a 13 percentage point increase in just 7 years. And this is a new trend. While 2020 exit polls show that young men backed Biden by 15 percentage points, a February 2024 Wall Street Journal poll found they favored Trump by 14 percentage points. And this loss of young male voters is a major issue for the Democratic Party going into November.
You see that guy to Kamala's left? That's Timmy Walz. And this genius, he decided to put tampons in the K through 5 boys' bathrooms in the state of Minnesota. So why would any young man with this much testosterone in their body vote for Kamala Harris and Timmy Walz? I mean, what's next? We're going to put tampons in every man's bathroom across America? What are we going to do with those, Tim? We're going to throw them at each other when we have arguments? Because that's the only thing we could do with tampons as a man. So why would any young man vote for this ticket?
Remember, the question now, can Kamala Harris bring some back?
Look at his face. Like he just screams of like, I'm a coward. I can't stand his whole demeanor. It's sickening. And you think that doesn't play into it? You think that young men don't look... Does he, as a young man, if you look at Timmy Walz, does he look like something you'd want to aspire to be? Like just his presence? And it has nothing to do because he's old or he's not built. Just the way he carries himself, the way he talks. The tampons thing for me, if I'm a young man and I used to be a Democrat and I found that out, that would be the final nail in the coffin where I would never vote for a Democrat again.
Here's what's driving young men to support Republicans. What it could mean for the presidential election to come.
You got Donald Trump. He got, in the ear. He gets up, pumps his fist in the air, gets back on the campaign trail, and, the next morning he does 17 rounds of golf. The guy has 53 indictments. He's facing prison time all over false accusations and a weaponization of the Justice Department. And he shakes it all off and he keeps going. As a young man, that's the person I aspire to be. As a young guy, that's who I want to be, like Donald Trump, a winner. Not somebody that puts tampons in the boys' bathroom like Timmy Walz, whatever the hell his name is.
When we ask young voters, what issue is most important to you when you go to cast a vote? Among young men, it's the economy. Among young women, it's abortion.
17% of men say the economy is the most important issue, followed by democracy and immigration. Whereas for young women, the top issue is abortion, by a lot.
Why is this happening? Well, we put the reasons into two different buckets. One life experiences that young men and young women are having, those life experiences are diverging.
Young men without a college degree have seen the greatest decline in labor force participation. Meanwhile, a record 87% of college-educated women are in the workforce. And today, women make up 60% of college graduates.
This division that we're seeing between young men and young women, it goes.
How much of an impact do you think this is going to have in 2024, Tom?
I think it's going to have a very real impact. And what people don't see, but you get beyond the emotion of the abortion argument, right? And it's hard to get behind the emotion of it. And you drill down, and there is a visceral my body, my choice that is present. But then when you drill down even further, it's an economic issue. Because they say, I don't want, and they use the word burden, responsibility. It says, I don't want the burden or responsibility to be a single mom raising the child before I want to. And they talk about how it's going to interrupt my college and interrupt my career. It's a very real part of it. I'm taking nothing away from the emotion and what they talk about, my body, my choice. But when you drill down, they talk about it. Whereas men, the first thing they talk about, am I going to be able to get a job? Am I going to be able to survive? Am I going to be able to buy stuff? Am I going to be able to do things? And so the economy is number one. But don't mistake that within the abortion argument for women is a very real issue around economics and what they think would be an interruption of what you just saw there, increasing their percent of college degrees and increasing their participation in the white-collar workforce. Chris?
I see, I'll add a component to each aspect.
Before I start going in on Chris Cuomo, the certified dirtbag, I just have a question for Patrick Bet-David. The big elephant in the room, Patrick, is him and his brother Andrew Cuomo are responsible for 15,000 people's deaths in New York City with the COVID situation, where he left those older people alone in nursing facilities, didn't allow their family to go visit them, and 15,000 people died. And then Andrew Cuomo lied about the actual number. He tried to scoot the numbers down. And then when he got called out on lying about the actual number, he blamed all the deaths on Trump. So, Patrick, when are you going to ask this certified dirtbag, Chris Cuomo, about that situation? Since it's the big elephant in the room. Him, Andrew Cuomo, and Chris Cuomo are responsible for minimally 15,000 people's deaths in New York City during COVID. And, he sits up there smugly like he has the world's problems figured out. So when these 15,000 people died, what did this dirtbag do? He got on television and he tried to spin it every which way instead of it being his brother's fault. And that's why he lost his job. You know why him and Don Lemon lost their jobs? Because they would spin every liberal narrative, which were complete lies, and the ratings went in the toilet. That's why Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon lost their jobs.
I don't limit it to abortion. That's one procedure. This has become a rights issue. Women are now the first class in modern history of humans to have a right taken away from them.
That's all he does is lie, this dirtbag. Donald Trump didn't take any rights away from women being able to access abortion. What Donald Trump didn't agree with was you can't get an abortion right up to the time of birth, which is absolutely disgusting, which Gavin Newsom and a whole bunch of Democrats and Democratic-run states agree with. So nobody took away women's rights, choices with their body. It's just a lie. And that's what this dirtbag does. Chris Cuomo is a certified dirtbag.
With Roe v. Wade being overruled and the authority over what women can do being given to state authorities. That is a big deal. We have seen, since Biden dropped out, the week he dropped out, registration to vote among women skyrocketed in a way versus 2020 that we've never seen cycle over cycle. And I think it's about a rights issue, also economic, also emotional, but a rights issue, reproductive rights. For men, economic, of course, but...
Chris, I got to stop you for a minute. You're always talking about what a big tough guy you are. Oh, I'm so big, I'm so tough, I'm so muscular. Hey, Chris, let's do something like this. Let's have a celebrity boxing match. You'll be the big stud, the big hero, the big celebrity, and I'll just be your biggest hater. and we'll take all the money and we'll donate it to COVID families who lost someone during COVID in New York City. But you know what? You're such a dirtbag, you'd probably want some of the money. I'll do it for free. So let's do a celebrity boxing match. Let's give the people what they want to see, because I would just love to get my hands on you because you're such a dirtbag. So, Patrick, if you see the video, set it up. We'll donate all the money to charity.
Also, cultural. Young men have to know more about the breakdown of color and creed in there, but it has not been, and I know this is unpopular, but just...
Young men need to know the color and creed of abortion? Like, what is this dirtbag saying? Can he make a minute? Like, can he go a sentence without lying or trying to get people emotionally to respond to his lies? That's why you were fired from your job. Because you couldn't tell the truth if it smacked you across the face.
Hear it out. I'm not saying that addressing male dominance and what is masculinity and how it is applied, where it's good and where it isn't. I think it's all healthy. It's all good to have the conversation. And there's lots of room for change. However, men, so the RNC comes out and there's a banner on MSNBC that says, weaponizes masculinity. Now, I believed that the banner from MSNBC was evidence of cynicism and bias.
Of course,
masculinity is not a bad word, and it has become one. And young men are responding to that, and they are looking for support, and they are looking for validation. And sometimes they're going to find it in unhealthy.
No, Chris, they're just tired of Democrats and liberals telling them, in order to be a man, you have to have purple hair, you have to have man boobs down to the floor, read poetry, wear your emotions on your sleeve, cry every chance you get, and if you act anything other than that, there's something wrong with you, and you have toxic masculinity. That's what they're tired of.
Places and symbols, and sometimes they'll find it in good ones. But that is part of it. Donald Trump and the right plays more to men looking for a space that is okay for them to be men. And you can disagree with that, you can roll your eyes, and you can say, no, it's only toxic masculinity, and nobody is saying that. I'm telling you, it's part of the equation. I have an 18-year-old son. I have been around his friends a lot and for years. They don't understand a lot of the issues, but they have an affinity play with the right because some of the themes of what they...
It's not a theme, Cuomo. It's not a theme, okay? Men want to be called men. They don't want to hear that there's 85 genders or 549 pronouns. They don't want to hear that. They don't think it's okay to have purple hair. They don't think it's okay to be, over 450 pounds and be overly sensitive and wear your emotions on your sleeve. So you're acting like it's just like a con or an act that they're relating to. That's not what it is. Young men look up to other masculine men. No matter how much you try to brainwash them, that somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Tom Cruise or one of these superheroes in movies, whoever, as much as you try to brainwash them that looking up to a masculine man is somehow negative, it's not going to work. Because it's something internal that God put into men where men want to be strong, leaders, heroes, etc. So stop making it sound like it's a con, because it's not. Or an angle.
They reach for, when it comes to being a man, seem better supported there. Right, wrong, good, bad. I don't know, but it's in play.
Well, this story is speaking right to me because I'm literally going through this process as we speak, and it's...
Adam, this story is speaking to you? You're the face of masculinity now? The guy that won't say anything positive about Trump but loves the Tates? Hey Adam, have you looked at the evidence in the Tates case of Dicot intercepting their calls and text messages of them manipulating teenage girls to human traffic them, to pimp them out, having sexual relationships with them. You're in love with the Tates, but you won't say one positive thing about Donald Trump. Go figure, Adam.
Pretty much done, but it comes down to three things in my opinion. Number one, follow the money. As you start to become a man and make money and you start to pay taxes, you realize, oh wow, this tax that actually, especially when you start making real money, yeah, the Republicans kind of sort of a better grasp on that, especially when it comes to capital gains if you become an investor. So follow the money, as James Carville once said. It's the economy, stupid. We all know that. You know, if you're young and you don't vote liberal, you have no heart. If you're older and you don't vote conservative, you have no brain. That's number one. Number two, you talk about the 4 year.
Why does Adam's voice always sound so raspy and like his sinuses are clogged? I mean, Adam, I know you go to Taylor Swift concerts, 5 days a week, screaming at the top of your lungs how she makes you feel masculine, and the next day you got to get up and go to work. Clear your throat out, put some of those cherry cough drops in, and it's like you have the worst speaking voice on the entire YouTube channel. It's always like you sound like you're sick when you're doing your job.
That we've seen between Trump and Biden. Well, there it is in front of your face. So, what the Democratic Party has become, unfortunately, is no longer the party of the JFK Democrats or even the Cuomo Democrats, or even the Clintons. It's like, what is this DEI attack on masculinity?
Oh, wait. The Cuomo Democrats were masculine? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Are you in love with Chris now? The Tates are going to be jealous, Adam. Right. The Cuomos are murderers and criminals. And Chris Cuomo, every night, him and Don Lemon, spinning every Democratic lie and narrative on the planet. Remember when he attacked Joe Rogan and he said that Joe Rogan was using horse tranquilizers or whatever to get rid of COVID? And then he came on the Patrick Bet-David show, a couple years later and said, I never said that. I said the medicine was good, and totally flip-flopped. But he attacked Rogan every chance he got and then denied it. Oh, yeah, he's just a face of masculinity, Adam.
The patriarchy, toxic masculinity, and it comes down to literally as a man, you have to be like, do I agree more with like the Andrew Tates of the world or the Dylan?
There he goes with his love for the Andrew Tates. Couldn't you pick the masculine man that's not into 13-year-old girls and human trafficking them and having sexual relationships with them? I'm worried about you, Adam. We need to keep an eye on you.
Mulvaney's of the world. Yeah, give me Andrew Tate for 1,000, please. And then number three, as Trump just said, it's common sense. We saw the lady, the guy do the interview was like, all right, you had your pick. Would you want a democracy or get an abortion? She's like, that's a tough one. I don't know. Democracy, I guess that's important, but I think I'm gonna have to pick abortion. Every guy's like, dude, really? An abortion is more important than a democracy. There's a lot of guys out there that were like, yeah, Obama was cool. I get it. But at this point, we've seen...
A lot of guys were like, Obama's cool. Maybe you and your friends. There's nothing cool about Obama. Nothing. So, speak for yourself, Adam. He's a Democratic plant. I don't know how Patrick Bet-David puts up with him because he is a Democratic plant. Every chance he gets, he'll never say anything good about Trump. And he constantly tries to put it in the viewers' minds and in their ears like a reason why they shouldn't vote for Trump. The same clown that's in love with the Tate brothers, who are human traffickers.
4 years of Trump, we've seen 4 years of Biden, and the answer is apparent at this point.
The question is going to be, are they going to show up and vote? That's what's going to come down to. Will they, at the end of the day, show up and vote, and will there be an impact? And if yes, how big of an impact? In what demos? In what markets? There's a lot of if, but the fact that the flip is...
I really think Patrick Bet-David is just so fed up with Adam. He just breathed in the microphone like... It's always something with Adam, but other than he's a complete moron and he's a Democratic plant, his voice is horrible. He's horrible at his job. Period.
15 points says a lot.
Yep.
And the fact that the biggest thing that I looked at with this video is the percentage of girls going to college, and they're going to an indoctrination camp, and girls are coming out, politically leaning towards one side because they're going to college more than they did before. And that that's one right there, Rob. If you can zoom into that specific data, the next slide that actually shows their increase. No, you have one of them right there. That chart. Look at that right there. From 1970, it was 56% to now 87%.
Yep.
You know, so that is something that you look at and you say, okay, I understand why. Because for 4 years you're going to go to college, and what do they talk about? Masculinity sucks. It's toxic. Rich people are bad. Capitalism sucks. America's bad. America's a bad country. Be careful with Christians. And then you come out and you're like, oh, 13 for every one.
Yeah, and those are the same girls that are online 24 hours a day crying into the camera why they can't get a boyfriend. What's the matter? When your date shows up and he's 400 pounds with man boobs to the floor and purple and pink hair, talking about let's split the bill, you know, and then you hate masculinity. I mean, it's a 365-degree mental disorder. You can't make this stuff up.
Conservative professor, 13 are liberals. Of course I'm going to be convinced that on the academia side I'm going to be converted.
And the data backs you up, but the women, what are they studying in college? They are it's over 75%. It's over 3/4 was the liberal arts, and men were still hanging on like at 50% STEM. So there you go.
Yeah.
What classrooms are you sitting in?
The rise of modern feminism is not what grandma's feminism was, the right to votes. You know, women are more concerned. Are you a they, them? Are you a she, her, or a he, him? And
Until reproductive rights.
well, I get it, but then a dude is like, I don't even want to play that game. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on right there, and it's getting worse in high schools. Because I remember when we were in Arizona talking to Charlie Kirk, that men are becoming more conservative, young men, high school, and women are becoming more liberal. So the gap is widening, and I don't think it's getting closer.
Did you see this, Tom, this morning? New candidates, outsiders are running. Can you come in this late? 2 candidates are running for office this late? I don't know if that's even possible. Rob, what story is talking about this? What channel is this?
Come on, Rob, get with it.
Hang on 1 second.
Why would New York Post and New York Times talk about these 2 candidates can you pull up the campaign on what their slogan is? Pull up their campaign on what their slogan is. Here we go. The latest campaign. Zoom in, Rob. Zoom in. Ellsworth Sauce 2024. Shut up, you little. It's their slogan.
Well played, guys. Well played.
Rob, can you do me a favor and play the clip for people know where this is coming from? By the way,
Well done,
you
guys.
have ever
Lucky
seen
I gave you a
this?
joke.
If that shirt exists and I don't get one in an extra medium before I leave, I'm going to be
First
very
of all,
disappointed.
guys, that
You're good,
shirt
Matt.
is here.
I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it. You give it to me, I'm wearing it right now.
You gotta be kidding.
This guy's getting naked on camera.
Oh, Socknick's getting excited now.
Ladies, don't look. Look away. You're making a
Rob, go to.
Look at Adam's face, looking at Cuomo with no shirt on. Like he's in love. The Tates might be jealous, Adam. I mean, you're staring at him like you're hungry or something.
My Twitter account, it should be on there right there. We just go on my Twitter.
This is good. This, finally something I can get behind.
That's for sure.
Ellsworth Sauce, nigga.
Shut up,
So,
you little bitch.
This.
Just what my mother used to tell me.
Have you seen this clip on what happened or no? On the podcast? Is this it, Rob?
We're doing this now?
Oh my
This is what
God,
we're
we
doing?
have to show. So on the podcast, this.
Adam, you like to pick on Tom all the time. You know, we could have 2 celebrity boxing matches back to back. I'll fight you, and then I'll fight Cuomo, all in the same night. Back 3 rounds apiece, 4 rounds apiece, whatever you want. We'll donate all the money to charity. Let's give the fans what they want to see. They want to see both of you guys get knocked out. I don't want a penny, but Chris Cuomo's a dirtbag. He'll probably want some type of money. I don't know. You know, you'll probably fall along those lines also, but I'll do it for free.
This is a couple weeks ago. Adam and Tom are going at it. And next thing you know, okay, Tom, Rob, it's right there. If you just go on my account, you should be able to see it. I retweeted it. I'm texting it to you as well. It's not hard to find. I think it's 6 down. Yeah, if you keep going, 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 you keep going. It's about to come up. Go one more right there. Okay. This is why the campaign started, folks. And you guys go ahead and play this clip. This is just a very special moment between the 2 candidates, the president and the VP. Go ahead.
More balanced.
Oh, I read. Tom, what's your point, dude? What are you doing?
Oh, you're trying so hard, you little bitch. You know, it's like, it's like, you know, it's you're the smartest guy in the room. You're rambling on and on and on.
Almost killed Vinny. Almost killed Vinny.
That's why he's not here today.
Yes, no shit. Give us the what's your point? Textbooks, baby. So
You deposit right there. So for those of you that support the Ellsworth and the Sosnick tickets,
Yes.
and you like their slogan, this will be limited merch. We will never sell this again, guys. I'm telling you right.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up for today. You know, young men, you need to ditch the Democratic Party as soon as possible. They don't stand. You're a man. You're supposed to be a man. They don't represent men well. They don't want you to be masculine. They don't want you to be strong. They don't want you to be leaders. They don't want you to act like men. And that's it. That's the bottom line. You need to vote for Trump in 2024, or we will not have a country left.